ABC3 Sports, brought to you by Karuba Collision.
The most exciting player in Syracuse basketball history passes away. I'm Nico Tamurian. There's no overstating the impact that Dwayne Pearl Washington had on Syracuse basketball. A player that could do anything on the court. Without the Pearl, Syracuse basketball was not the elite program that we see today. Pearl did so much for the program with his incredible ball skills. He did just as much with his infectious smile. The Pearl put Syracuse basketball on the map. The most electrifying player in Orange history. Coach Boeheim has said several times over the years that is in fact the case. The last time Coach said he spoke with the Pearl was over the phone to tell him that the Orange made the Final Four. Pearl did have trouble replying, but was still excited. There's been trying times in the career of Jim Boeheim, no question about it. And even if Pearl's passing was somewhat expected, it doesn't make it any less of a sad day in Syracuse.
We've had a lot of great players, but I think there's really only one. There's just only one guy like him. He was a really humble guy.
Certainly tough to see coach like that. Joining me live now here in studio is Gene Waldron, a teammate of the Pearl at Syracuse University. Gene, thank you so much for your time. A day like today, I know it's so difficult, so if we could talk a little bit about Pearl and your relationship with him, especially on that '84 team when you guys played together. What was that time together like at SU?
For me, it was probably one of the most exciting times because when he came out of high school, he was one of the top players in the country. You know, and to be able to play alongside him was just truly an honor. You know, I remember hearing about him when he was in high school, and when I found out he was coming to Syracuse, I was very excited about that opportunity to play with him.
And we see this moment, the last time that Pearl was at the Dome, December 19th, when SU played Cornell, so many alums back. Take me through this moment. You guys hugged a lot of former players there. What was that day? What was that moment like?
It was, you know, it was just a great time to see him make it up to Syracuse that day. And I remember him coming out, and I had to tell him, I said, you know, follow me, I'm right behind you. And I got out there and I gave him a hug, and I just told him I wish him well and just keep fighting, you know, and I think he did that.
Sure thing about it, too. And we see the video of him playing there. So many of us enjoy watching that video, and we love the highlights. We could watch this for hours. You were on the floor with him. What was it like to share that court with Pearl?
I mean, he drew so much attention that at times it made it easy for me to score or to get open because everybody always paid attention to him. And I remember that 40-point game I had. All the attention was on him, and he just kept feeding me the ball and feeding me the ball. And there was, you know, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had the great game that I had that day. So it's just really tough. It's just really tough.
Now, we certainly, you can't imagine. You know, one thing that we have been talking about a lot today is the success of Syracuse basketball. 2 Final Fours now in the last 4 years. Is it a fair statement to say that the success that Syracuse enjoys now as an elite program is because of the roots that the Pearl put in those years in the 80s?
I would have to say so. I think, you know, the program was up and coming, but I think once he got to Syracuse, he took the program to another level. The fans got the opportunity to see somebody that otherwise would never been able to see. But the things that he could do with the basketball was just phenomenal. You know, he was the type of person that he just was, he smiled. He was always there to take pictures, sign autographs. And, you know, he took this program to a level that it's no way it's ever going to go back.
That's one thing Jim Boeheim said. He was a fantastic, one of the best players ever, but no doubt about it, the best person ever.
He really was. I mean, even after we graduated, you know, there was times he would come up for alumni games, and him and I used to have such laughs. I mean, we used to reminisce about just the 1 year that I played with him. You know, it was just incredible. You know, we've taken a lot of pictures together, gone down in the Big East, him, myself, and Raphael. You know, we always had some great stories to talk about, and that's going to be missed.
No doubt about it. Gene Waldron, We appreciate your time on such a difficult day. Thank you so much for being with us. Let's go to Matt and Megan.